Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you for this evening, Sunday evening discussion on the Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing chapter 1. Chapter is entitled Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is verse number 7. So I'll recite the verse 3 or 4 times, and then if anyone wants to follow, they can follow. Asmakam tu vishishtaye Asmakam tu vishishtaye Tan nibodha dvijottama Tan nibodha dvijottama Nayaka mama sainyasya Nayaka mama sainyasya Samjñartham tan bravimite Samjñartham tan bravimite अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान् निबोध द्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते. Anyone wants to recite? Okay, so word to word meaning. Asmakam, out. To, but. Vishishta, especially powerful. Ye, who. Tan, them. Nibodha, just take note of. Dvijottama, O best of the Brahmanas. Nayaka, captains. Mama, my. Sainyasya, of the soldiers. Samjnartham, for information. Tan, them. Bravimi, I am speaking. Te, to you. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. So we'll take the next verse also. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjayah Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattistatthaivacha. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Duryodhan mentions the exceptional heroes of the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhan, Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya, and Saumadatti or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of Bhalikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjun, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. So that is about this verse. So here we find this verse is spoken by who? It's spoken by Duryodhan. Duryodhan is describing the important warriors on the side of the Pandavas. Last few weeks we saw how Duryodhan is describing, the armies of the Pandavas. Now he is beginning to describe the major warriors on the Kaurava side, on his side. Because if you simply describe the army of the opposite party, then you may feel our army is weak, maybe. So he didn't want to discourage anyone. So after describing the opposite party, he now begins to describe his own army, so that everyone is encouraged. So he says, let me tell you the best captains who are qualified to lead my military force. So who are those? He names a few of them. Bhavan. Bhavan means Aap. Aap yaha Dronacharya. He's telling Dronacharya, you are there, one of the best commanders of the army. Then Bhishma. Bhishma is well known. Karna. Karna is also well known. Kripa. Kripa is the... Kripacharya is actually the family priest, but then he was also a military general. And this way, Samitinjaya, they are all victorious. Ashwathama is there, your son, Dronacharya's son. Vikarna, Saumadatti. So in this way, he names several of them. So Dronacharya was... So here we find Duryodhan's mentality coming out. Not that he is really appreciating the qualities of these people. It is said that Duryodhan was the personification of Kali Yuga. So we have these 4 ages. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara and Kali. Right? Kali Yuga is said to be the most degraded among the four ages, most evil of the 4 ages. Satya Yuga is the best, slightly less better is Treta, more degraded is Dwapara, and worst is Kali Yuga. So every age has a personality associated with it. There is a personification, not exactly personification, but there is one person who is controlling the activities of that age. So Kali personified his agent, main agent, happens to be Duryodhana. So Duryodhana is the one who is going to begin the transition from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga. Someone has to ignite, push it, right? That is going to be done by Duryodhana. So therefore, Duryodhana is like personification of all evil qualities. One of the qualities of Kali Yuga is envy and hatred, anger towards everyone. Kali Yuga is also described as a quality of age of quarrel and hypocrisy. For the slightest reason, people will start fighting with each other. For no good reason. And hypocrisy. Hypocrisy means you show something inside, you have something inside, but you show something different outside. Hypocrisy in dealings, hypocrisy in behavior. So that's the symptoms of the age of Kali. And Kali Yuga began immediately after the Mahabharata war. After Krishna's disappearance, Kali Yuga began. So that is almost 5,000 years old, Kali Yuga. The duration of Kali Yuga is said to be 4,32,000 years, out of which 5,000 have passed. So how many is remaining? 4,27,000 still remaining. And this is just the beginning of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga ke shuruaat mein ye haal hai. So just imagine what will be the situation later on as years pass by. So Duryodhana is representing the age of Kali, and therefore his dealings are all envious, full of anger, hatred, cunningness. There is a nice verse in the Subhashita. It says, Durjanaha parihartavyo vidyaya alankritopi san manina bhushitaha sarpaha kimasau na bhayankaraha. So Durjanaha parihartavya. Durjana or evil people should always be kept far. Parihartavya. Reject them. Vidyaya alankritopi san. Even though they are decorated with all kinds of degrees and qualifications, parihartavyo should be rejected. So they may have all kinds of qualifications. They may be having an influential position, good degrees, power, position, whatever. But if he is Durjan, evil person, parihartavyo. And it gives an example. Manina bhushitaha sarpaha. If a snake, poisonous snake, is decorated with a jewel, all these cobras have precious jewel decorating their head. Even if a cobra is decorated with a precious jewel, are we going to embrace a snake? Right? Manina bhushita sarpa kimasau na bhayankara. It is still dangerous. A poisonous cobra decorated with the most precious jewel is still dangerous. Similarly, an evil person decorated with all kinds of degrees is dangerous. Better stay away from such a person. Another verse, Chanakya Pandit says, Sarpa kruraha, khalak kruraha. So Sarpa is krur, snake is cruel, evil. Khalak krur, a cruel person is also evil. But among the two, Sarpat kruradhara khalaha. More evil than the Sarpa, snake, is an evil person, a person with an evil mentality. Why? Because mantraushadhivashas sarpaha. You can tame a snake using mantra and aushadhis. That flute charmer, snake charmer. Using all these things, you can tame a snake. But khalakkena nivaryate. How can you tame an evil person? That's impossible. So although they may behave nicely, speak nicely, like Duryodhana here is speaking very nice, refined speech, very polite speech. So one cannot estimate the evil nature of a person simply by the external speech. They may use the most poetic language, most refined language, and most polite language. But how do you determine the nature of a person? Not by the degrees, not by the external qualities, not by speech also, but by action also can be faked. You understand a person by his intentions, right? Yeah, action is usually a good evaluator, but action can be faked. Intention क्या है उसके अंदर? Why is he behaving nicely to me? Some people may behave nicely with us, but then they may have evil intention, right? So Duryodhan, if you look at the history of the Mahabharata, how he made friends. He had evil intentions behind befriending Karna, behind befriending Shalya. All these people he accumulated made allies with during the war, not because he loved them and had a good respect for them. He had his own evil, selfish motives. He tricked people so that they should fight for him. And in this way, they were obliged to fight for him. Like in the Mahabharata, you find the story just before the war. There was this person called Shalya. Shalya happened to be the uncle of the Pandavas, Madri's brother. Nakul Sahadev's mother is Madri. Madri's brother was Shalya. So Shalya wanted to join the Pandavas naturally, Bhanje. So he was coming with his army from the southern part of India, and Duryodhan came to know this person is coming. So you know what he did? He arranged nice reception and accommodation and food on the way where Shalya was going to cross. And Shalya was happy, suddenly find all such facilities for his army, for entire people. And he thought maybe the Pandavas have arranged, Yudhishthira has arranged. So he enjoyed the facilities, took nice rest, everything was nice, had good food. And when everything was nice, he was refreshed. Who comes there? Duryodhan comes there. He says, "Oh my dear uncle, welcome. I hope you enjoyed everything. You had the best of comfortable situation." So Shalya said, "Oh yeah, you have arranged. What can I do for you? What can I do?" That's what the question he was waiting for. What can I do for you? So he said, "Please join me in the upcoming war." So Shalya had to oblige. And that's how he fought for Duryodhan. So in this way, Duryodhan tricked many people. Even Karna was tricked. Karna didn't realize it in the early days in their childhood. Karna was looking for some identity because he was like Sutaputra. He didn't know that he was the son of Kunti and he was the brother of Pandavas, but he was raised by Suta, chariot driver's family. So, but then he had all the skill, all the qualities of a Kshatriya. But then who was going to accept him as a Kshatriya? And then there was this competition between the Pandavas and Kauravas, demonstrating their education and skills. So Karna barges in and says, "I want to compete. I also want to show my skills." So then when an unknown stranger comes in, then you ask, "Who are you? What's your pehchan kya hai tumhari?" So then he said, "I am Sutaputra Karna." Sutaputra, then you are not qualified, eligible to participate in this competition. You should have an ancestry. So then, but when Duryodhan saw Karna's skills, he said, he can be a good competitor, match for Arjun. I want him on my side. So he immediately said, "How can you judge anyone based on his birth? This is unfair. Look at his character, look at his quality, look at his skills. That shows that he's not born in a lower family. He must be born in a Kshatriya family. How can you discriminate against him?" So if if the condition is that he should be a king in order to participate here, then I make him the king. Yeah, Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki. If kingship is the necessary qualification to participate in this competition, I immediately make him the king. King of the country called Anga. Angaraj. Bana deta hu. So immediately he did a small ritual. Karna was made the king. So then he can participate now, competition. And he demonstrated skill. So everyone applauded. Wow, Karna is like as good as Arjun. And then Karna joined. Because Karna got an identity, recognition, and position, he felt Duryodhana is my best friend. Best friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So that's how Duryodhana tricked him. And Duryodhana understood that Karna got what he wanted. Now let me extract what I want from him. So in this way, he manipulated Karna for everything. All the evil plans that he had, Lakshagraha, how the Pandavas were banished into the forest. They tried to kill them in the fire. And then gambling match and Draupadi's insult. Karna had a major role to play in all these things. He supported, encouraged Duryodhana in all these activities. He never said, no, this is wrong. He never corrected him. So in this way, Duryodhana was an evil person, and Karna, in the association of Duryodhana, he also became evil as, or even more evil as Duryodhana. So Duryodhana's speech here indicates how his mentality, what is mentality? So here he is saying, Bhavan, you are there, Dronacharya, you are one of the best warriors. And so Dronacharya and Bhishma, both of them, because they were kind of employed by Duryodhana. Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they were the kings, and Bhishma was like the minister, Dronacharya was the teacher. So they were employed by Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. So they couldn't refuse to fight against the Kauravas. They had to participate on the side of Kaurava. So in this way, Bhishma got dragged, Dronacharya got dragged. Kripa. Who is Kripa? Kripacharya is the brother-in-law of Dronacharya. So Kripacharya was born from, his parents were his father. Kripacharya was the eldest son, his sister was Kripi. Kripi was married to Dronacharya. And Dronacharya and Kripi had a son named Ashwathama. So Kripa and Kripi were twins, born to a sage named Sharadvan. And he became the main priest for the Kaurava family. And he instructed the Pandavas and Kauravas in many subjects. He was also a great general. In the Mahabharata, you find how Kripacharya didn't die, even after the 18-day war. And he assisted Ashwathama on the last day. Last day there was a night war. After everyone slept, Ashwathama went into the camp and killed everyone. So Kripacharya assisted him in that plot. And he advised Duryodhana, along with Dronacharya and Bhishma, he also advised Duryodhana, no, this is not the right thing you are doing. Better avoid. But he didn't listen. And after the war got over, Yudhishthira became the king, and Kripacharya continued to remain the priest, family priest, the royal priest. And then Yudhishthira ruled for several years, 35 years, and they retired. Their grandson Parikshit became the king. Right? And Kripacharya continued to remain the priest, royal priest for this family. Parikshit also. So that's the nature in a Vedic culture, in Vedic society. One priest advises the family for all the main important rituals and function. One guide needs to be there for the family. Otherwise, which ritual to perform, which samskara to perform. Not everyone is expert in everything, right? Just like if you have medical need, we go to a doctor. Not that everyone becomes a doctor. We don't do our we don't fulfill our medical needs individually. Although on the internet you may find everything, but then we go to an expert. Similarly, when you need a birth, when a child, newborn child is there, what samskaras have to be performed, name giving samskar and the jata karma, all these things, someone has to be an expert. Astrological chart, predicting the future, then marriages. So when there is a one person contact who can understand all these sciences and the rituals and the philosophical understanding behind them, then it becomes so easy. Otherwise, in today's time, you have to pay huge amounts just to get a small puja done, and you don't know what kind of mantras they are chanting because we are totally ignorant about the whole thing. They will come and do something, and then they will charge heavily, and they have their other profession. So one person dedicated. So Kripacharya was like that. The Pandavas also had one person called Dhaumya. When they were in the forest for the 14 years, 13 years, Dhaumya was there constantly guiding them in these matters, in these subjects. So that is Kripacharya. Then we have Saumadatti. Saumadattis tathaivacha. Saumadatti was another name was Bhurishrava. Last time we saw how he was killed by Satyaki. Satyaki and Saumadatti. Bhurishrava had a battle on one of the days, on the day when Jayadratha was killed. And that is described in great detail. Then we have Vikarna. So Vikarna is described as one of the brothers of Duryodhana. So when the gambling match was going on and Draupadi was getting insulted, Draupadi Vastraharan, when it was happening, one person protested from the Kaurava side. Who was that? Vikarna. Although he was Duryodhana's brother, Vikarna protested, hey, this is not right, you should not do this. But then he was alone, he didn't have support. So Duryodhana made him shut up. Who are you speaking? You are making a decision here. But then Duryodhana knew he is like not exactly aligned with our thoughts. So when the war, during the war, when he's mentioning many people's names, he is mentioning Vikarna's name. Not because Vikarna is a very powerful warrior, but he wants to ensure that Vikarna doesn't change parties, change the side and join the Pandavas. If you take someone's name, you give him recognition and position, then they feel obliged, right, to fight for you. There are 100 brothers Duryodhana has. He takes the name of Vikarna, not even Dushasan. Although Dushasan was much more powerful. So just to ensure that Vikarna remains here, continue to remain loyal to me, Duryodhana specially mentions his name. And then of course we find the name of Karna. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha. Karna's name is mentioned. So Karna we all know. Karna was born to actually Kunti. Kunti had this blessing given by the sage Durvasa. So Durvasa Muni had one time appeared in their kingdom, Kunti's palace. And Kunti served him nicely. And after the whole reception, Durvasa was very happy. Said, you served me so nicely. I want to bless you. I want to give you a blessing. So he gave him a mantra. He gave her a mantra. You invite any demigod, any devata, and they will fulfill your desire. So he gave her the mantra and then he left. So Kunti was like a small girl, teenager. And she didn't know what this mantra is and what the devata is. Like innocent little girl. So she said, let me try. Mantra diya hai Mahamuni ne. Try karke dekhta hu. So she uttered the mantra and remembered Surya, the sun god. And Surya Deva appeared. Effulgent, bright person. Nowadays we don't believe that there is a Surya Deva person, Chandra. We don't believe in all these things. We just believe that these are all simply planets without any life. But our Vedic scriptures describe that there are people living in all these places. They are not vacant, simply full of dust. Apollo mission went to moon. They say they went to moon, and then they collected some what stones and rocks and dust, right? But in the Vedic scriptures, sun and the moon are considered to be heavenly regions, not ordinary places, much better than Earth. So if it is a heavenly region, all you got is a dust. So did they really go to the moon? There is a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory that did Apollo go to the moon? Did Americans reach the moon? Or was it whole thing staged somewhere in the US itself, on a desert, Arizona desert? So there is a theory. If you Google it, fake moon landing, you will find all these websites describing the conspiracy. Some say they didn't go to the moon. Some say they may have tried going to the moon, but they ended up going somewhere else. Anyway, that conspiracy will continue to remain a conspiracy. But these places, according to the Vedic literatures, are heavenly regions. And there are people staying there. There are people who are controlling the deity, controlling the planet, controlling the region. There is a king or the president of the place. So Kunti invited Suryadev, and Suryadev came. So Kunti was like, "Oh, you were there? What to do? No, you please go back. Thank you for coming." So Suryadev said, "Come on, that's not how it works. You invited me, I have to give you something now. My visit cannot go waste. I am going to give you a child." So Kunti said, "Child? But I am unmarried. And if I have a child, what will society say? Premarital affair." But then he said, "Then why did you invite me? You invited me, now you have to take a child. But don't worry, I will maintain your purity, virginity. You will have a child, but you will continue to remain pure. And the child will come out of your ear. Karna." The child came and no one knew. She knew and some of her close associates knew. And she told what to do now with this child. Nice child, baby boy. So they advised, do one thing. Put him in a basket. Pani mein dal do. Someone will take care of the child. If the child is destined to live, someone will take care. So this was kept a close secret. She put the child and the child went and it was picked up by this family, the Suta family. The wife's name was Radha. Therefore his son, another name is Radhe, son of Radha. So that is Kunti and Karna. Kunti then kept this a secret and she revealed this secret during the war, just before the war. Kunti went to when she understood that this war is going to happen and Karna is going to fight on that side, that means someone has to die. So Kunti thought, at least now let me try to save his life. Maybe if I disclose this secret to him, he may change his mind. So he went to him in a private place, called him. Karna came and he said, "Look, this is what happened with you. You are my son, eldest brother of the Pandavas. So I suggest you come here." So Karna felt, he was bewildered. He said, "Such an important thing, now you are telling me? All these years you kept it secret." So he didn't know, should I go here, should I go here? But then finally he decided, I will continue to remain on the side of Duryodhana. So Dost, hai ki nahi? Dost, my friend, he has done so much for me and how can I betray him? And so this is what happened with Karna. In the name of friendship, he ended up committing the biggest blunder by supporting the biggest terrorist of that time. So sometimes we don't understand which virtue should be prioritized. So friendship is important and you shouldn't betray anyone. But if that friend happens to be the biggest criminal, then as a good friend, I am supposed to advise him, stop him from committing the crime, which he didn't do. He instead ended up encouraging Duryodhana, right? And in turn, he became a criminal. So therefore, he sided adharma, he took side of the adharma, and therefore he was killed. So in the war, in the battle of Kurukshetra, you find Karna became the commander-in-chief after Dronacharya. 15th, 16th day of the war. 15th day Dronacharya got killed, 16th and 17th. Karna led the army. And Karna had this weapon called Shakti weapon. Shakti weapon was given to him by Indra. So the Mahabharata describes how Suryadev, so son of Surya is Karna, son of Indra is Arjun. Right? And the battle is going to happen between Arjun and Karna. So Arjun had this weapon called Shakti. So Indra came to know the battle is going to happen. So Indra decided to help Arjun because Karna had this kavach, protective kavach from birth. And as long as he wore the kavach, no one could kill him. So Indra thought, I will trick him. So Karna is known for charity. Every day he does charity to so many people. At that time I will go as a Brahman and I will beg charity. So that's what he did. Every morning Karna was doing charity and a Brahman came. And the Brahman requested, Bhiksham Dehi. So what do you want? What did he say? I want a kavach. Kavach. But then Karna said, okay, I'm dedicated to distributing charity to Brahmanas. I will give you. And then he tore open the kavach and gave it. So Suryadev, because he already knew that Indra is going to come. So one day before he told Karna, look, tomorrow Indra is going to come and he's going to demand your kavach. Don't give him. But Indra said, no, I cannot do that. If someone comes and asks me, I will give. So Surya tried to convince him, but he didn't listen. So then Surya said, okay, if at all you want to give him. But then demand something from him. So what should I demand? When you give the kavach, ask something from him. Ask for the Shakti weapon. So Karna said, okay. So that's what he did. When Indra came and asked for the kavach, Karna asked for Shakti weapon. So Indra said, okay, I'll give you on one condition. This will work only once. You can use it on one person. I said, okay. So he lost the kavach, he gained the Shakti weapon. And he had kept the Shakti weapon to use it against Arjun. And he was waiting for the day when I will get a chance to fight with Arjun. Interestingly, Karna didn't enter the war until 10 days. First 10 days. Because he had an argument with Bhishma in the beginning. Bhishma was evaluating every warrior's caliber. He was saying, okay, Duryodhana, you are a Maharathi. Bhishma, Arjuna are Maharathis. On our side, your brothers are Maharathis. Myself, Dronacharya, Atirathis. No, Atirathis, there are this calibration, evaluation. Atirathi means one who can fight with 10,000 soldiers at a time. Maharathi means one who can fight with 1,000 soldiers. Rathi is someone who can fight with 100 soldiers, something like that. So there's an evaluation, calibration. So he took everyone, Bhishma was taking everyone's name and rating everyone. And Duryodhana was waiting, when is Karna's name going to be mentioned? And everyone was mentioned except Karna. And then finally he had to ask, but then Karna? Who is he? What is his rating? So Bhishma said, Karna, I consider him to be an Ardharathi. Ardharathi means half a warrior. Not even a full warrior. So Karna was standing there. So then Duryodhana asked for an explanation. Why? Because Karna keeps talking, bragging about himself all the time. I will do this, I will do that, I will defeat everyone alone, single-handedly, I can defeat the entire Pandava army, this and that. He has said big things about himself, but he over promises, under delivers. That's Karna. So therefore, I don't rate him at all. He is simply empty balloon. So Karna heard this, and he felt really insulted. He started abusing Bhishma. You always keep insulting me. You don't never appreciate me. I have done this. I have done that. I take a vow. As long as you are there in the battlefield, I will not fight. Because if I fight, you will take all the credit because you are the commander, right? Commander gets the ultimate credit. So therefore, I will not fight as long as you are the commander in chief. Only after you die, I will fight. So, but Bhishma continued to fight for 10 days. So Karna didn't participate in the war for first 10 days. So Duryodhan's main support was not there for him, with him. So then after Bhishma fell, then Karna entered. So Karna had the Shakti weapon and he was waiting for an opportunity to fight with Arjuna. In fact, he got opportunities several times, but somehow it didn't strike him कि ये Shakti weapon है मेरे पास. Somehow Krishna also tricked him, made him forget that you have this weapon. So finally the day came. Before that, so Krishna knew Karna is reserving this weapon for Arjuna. So Krishna had a plan. He said, let us do one thing. We need to exhaust Karna's Shakti weapon. Right? Let us employ who? Ghatotkach. Ghatotkach was the son of Bhima through Hidimbi, kind of demon, Asura race. So Arjun wanted to go and fight Karna, but then Krishna said, wait, this is not the right time. Send Ghatotkach. He will play a very crucial role in the war. So then Ghatotkach is called, and Arjun and Krishna tell him, this is what you have to do. Go and challenge Karna. So that's what Ghatotkach did. He goes and challenges Karna, and there's a big battle between Karna and Ghatotkach. And it was not clear who will win, who will lose. Karna, although human, race-wise, human is inferior to Rakshasas. Ghatotkach had a huge size, like a monster. But Karna was powerful, therefore he could deal with him. He could tackle him. But still, Ghatotkach is also powerful. And it was not clear who will win, who will lose. And the fight continued for several hours. And gradually, Ghatotkach was gaining the upper hand in overpowering Karna. But then Karna still didn't use his Shakti weapon. He was using all the weapons except the Shakti. But then other warriors were getting killed. Ghatotkach was shooting weapons and arrows and stones and all kinds of astras. And the whole army was like tormented. Karna was able to handle him, but others were not able to handle him. So finally everyone started crying and shouting, please use the Shakti weapon, kill this monster. But Karna still thought, wait, I will wait. But after some time he realized, this is beyond my capacity to handle. Otherwise I will die. Ghatotkach was about to kill him. So that's when he took out his Shakti weapon, chanted the mantras, released it. That penetrated Ghatotkach's body and Ghatotkach fell down. So everyone congratulated Karna. And Karna also accepted, he was happy, but then he lost the Shakti weapon. So when Ghatotkach died, Krishna laughed. Krishna smiled. But others were crying. Bhima's son, right? It's our man died. Our son died. And why are you laughing? So then Krishna revealed the whole thing to Arjuna. This was my intention, this is my plan. Now you can challenge Karna tomorrow. So next day, the war happens between Karna and Arjuna. And then that's again a detailed story. But this is Karna. So Karna had all the evil intentions. That last moment, he was actually cursed in his childhood, not childhood, when he was in school. He had gone to the ashram of Parashuram to learn the arts, and then there he was. He lied there. He said, I am a Kshatriya. No, he said, I am a Brahmana. I am a Brahman and I want to learn all this knowledge. But then one time his guru, Parashuram, was sleeping on his lap. And then one crab or some insect came and started sucking his flesh. And then blood was flowing. But then he didn't disturb Parashuram. Because his guru is sleeping and then he didn't want to disturb him. But then this insect was sucking out blood and blood was flowing. And the blood flew and then finally touched Parashuram's body. And then he saw something wet. And then he woke up. And he saw blood lying. So what happened? So he saw this insects. So then, but you said you are a Brahman. A Brahman cannot tolerate physical pain. He can tolerate mental pain, mental insults. Physical pain you cannot tolerate. Who are you? Are you a Kshatriya or a Brahman? But Kshatriyas can tolerate physical pain. So then he had to reveal, I am not a Brahman. You lied, I curse you. Curse you that all the knowledge that you have received from me, you will forget at the most critical moment. All the mantras you will forget. So he begged forgiveness, but then what would he do? And then another curse happened. Another Brahman had cursed him because I think he killed a cow. Something happened, then he was cursed by the Brahman that by the most crucial time of your life, your chariot wheel gets stuck in the earth. So when the war with Arjuna was happening, at the most peak time, his chariot got stuck into earth. There was a crack and then it fell. So he requested Arjuna, stop, let me just pull out my chariot wheel. So Arjuna stopped. And he was trying hard to pull it up. But there was two inside. He couldn't pull it up. So Arjuna stopped the fight, respecting Karna's condition. But then Krishna said, what happened, Arjuna? Why did you stop? So Arjuna said, this is our rule, right? When someone is not prepared to fight, we don't fight. That's dharma, Kshatriya dharma. You cannot fight with someone who is not ready or not armed. So Krishna said, by the way, do you remember what the history is? You are talking about dharma. And Karna also said, yeah, this is dharma. You should respect dharma. Don't shoot Arjun. Let me just pull out my chariot. You should follow dharma. So Krishna started laughing. You are talking about dharma? No? Where was your dharma when you were insulting Draupadi? Where was your dharma when Abhimanyu was killed illegally? Where was your dharma, O Karna, when you sent the Pandavas into the gambling, cheated the Pandavas in gambling and sent them to exile? That time you didn't remember dharma. Now you are remembering dharma. Arjun, don't waste time, shoot him, he said. So Arjun, when he heard all this, his blood got boiled. He released the arrow and cut off Karna's head. That was the end of Karna. So in this way, the Mahabharata describes all these warriors in great detail. Here, Duryodhana is relying too much on these people, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama. Ashwathama was the son of Dronacharya and he also played a very crucial role. The last day of the 18th day, night, he went into the Pandava camp. When everyone was sleeping, he killed all the 5 sons of Pandavas. He killed Drishtadyumna, he killed several other warriors. He set fire to the whole camp and then he left. So the 5 Pandavas fortunately were outside. They were not in the camp. They were actually sleeping in the battlefield on the last day. But others got killed. So in this way, Duryodhana is now describing several people and we'll continue this discussion next week also. So we'll stop here. Any thoughts, anyone comments has? So we have this upcoming course on the Gita, 3-day course. Anyone wants to join, you can register there. It will give you a nice overview of the Gita concepts. Yeah. One second, let me just finish. So this is on March 24, 25, 26. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Yeah, so please register whoever interested.
Mic,
Yeah, yes.
mic. In mic. Please speak in mic.
Please speak, take the mic. Mic aa raha, mic aa raha.
I'm coming in this temple since last 30 years.
Good.
When I came, I wanted money. Now I want peace of mind. So, actually I'm a lawyer, but I faced a lot of difficulty in surviving in the profession. So, I do regularly cow worship, and because I know that I have taken birth because of my bad karma in the last life. So, what advice you will give me to get peace of mind?
What advice to give for peace of mind? In the material world, everyone is in struggle. You're not alone. So everyone has their own set of anxieties, own set of stress and depression. Nowadays, children have depression. You need child psychologists, special psychologists deal with children's anxieties. So that way, you look at college students, they have the anxiety of career and job, whether I'll get a job. Those who have job, they have the anxiety of whether I'll be fired from the job. Those who are unmarried, they have the anxiety of whether I'll get married. Those who are married, they have the anxiety of getting divorced, children's marriages. So everyone is in anxiety. The nature of this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So how to deal with stress, deal with anxiety? The World Health Organization says anxiety is going to be the biggest killer in this century. So most of the anxiety is coming out of social conditions. The society has so many expectations from us. And in order to fulfill those expectations, unrealistic expectations, we get into stress. Like that saying is there. We spend money that we don't have to purchase things that we don't want, to impress people that we don't like. This is going to cause stress, right? You take credit card and then spend money. So, Prabhupada advises simple living, high thinking. Simplify your life and spend more time in cultivating values, wisdom, knowledge. I understand. So, for the Gita was spoken to whom? Arjun, right? Not a person like me. Arjun is like in the middle of a war. What can be a more stressful life than a war? Right? You can't say you are more stressed than Arjun. Right? So if Arjun can hear the Gita, anyone can hear the Gita. Right? Anyone can practice the Gita. So Arjun got a clear vision, clear inspiration, clear guidance by hearing the Gita. So lawyer ho, businessman ho, student, doctor, whatever it is, we can't have excuses to not study the Gita and apply the Gita. So don't worry. Take the message of the Gita. Krishna says, Bhoktar amegya tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrichati. Shanti, peace. And there are many such verses where Krishna says, if you do this, you will become peaceful. Sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. Such a person will attain peace. Not a person who runs after so many desires, trying to fulfill those desires. So our secret message is this. All the secret is revealed here. If we can understand this deep spiritual wisdom that Krishna is giving Arjun, any stressful situation, no matter how stressful the situation is, the Gita has a solution. So Arjun got peace. You will definitely get peace. Thank you. Yeah.
राधे राधे. मेरा सवाल है ना सर, कि हमारे मन को कौन कंट्रोल करता है और इसमें जो थॉट्स आते हैं उसको कैसे कंट्रोल करें.
The mind is said to be chanchal. Chanchalam hi manak Krishna, pramati balavadridham. Arjuna is saying. The mind is highly restless, but mind can be controlled by a higher taste, superior taste. The nature of the mind is to run after desires, fulfill so many desires, this, thinking, feeling, willing, whatever the sensations are, run after them. तो माइंड को कंट्रोल नहीं करना है, माइंड को रीडायरेक्ट करना है हमको. कंट्रोल माइंड कैन नॉट बी कंट्रोल्ड इन दैट सेंस. माइंड हैज टू थिंक ऑफ समथिंग, डिजायर समथिंग, ये माइंड का नेचर है. बट इट इज थिंकिंग ऑफ व्हाट, इट इज डिजायरिंग व्हाट, दैट वी हैव टू चेंज. So right now the tendency is mind will run after negative desire, negative thoughts. Replace them with positive thoughts, positive desires. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva, a superior taste. So mind then can be our best friend. Uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy. Controlled mind is the best friend. Krishna says in the 6th chapter. We're getting late. We'll take later, Prabhu. Yeah. Both. Everyone has certain inherent nature, but then it gets magnified or suppressed based on the association you have. Everyone is evil. We all have some evil, right? Some good and bad qualities, divine and demonic qualities, we all have. But which quality get enhanced and which qualities are suppressed, that happens in the right association. If you associate with evil people, those qualities will come out and get amplified. And if you associate with saintly people, the evil quality gets suppressed, divine quality gets enhanced. So, sang, jaisa sang, vaisa rang, we say, na? Association is what determines a man's real nature. Otherwise, so we have to associate with the right people. And in this way, enhance our good qualities. Bring out the good things out of us. So we'll stop here and we'll have Kirtan now. Hare Krishna.